to Khula!
Now, last night was the MTN Business Awards, and there was huge applause on stage as the announcement of the best app of the year went to
Khula. The Khula app. Khula says it's creating African solutions for African problems.
To Khula Agriculture.
This game changer, literally leveling the planting fields.
Khula app has connected these farmers in South Africa directly.
Khula app, I am in a position to track my records.
If you haven't heard of the name Khula before, I'm seriously worried because it's a fast-growing tech company in the South African agriculture industry.
Now, where has Khula been hiding? That's the big question. We've been in the farms, in the fields, in the trenches. We've been in Thohoyandou, in Hazyview, in Brits, working with real farmers, big farmers, small farmers, medium-sized farmers. And we're finally excited to roll out one of the products in our ecosystem, the Khula Inputs app for the production side of your business. The fact is, technology is hitting agriculture like a bullet train. Either you get hit by it, left behind, or you get on board.
Khula has partnered with very big reputable companies. Farmers can order inputs at the convenience of their home.
They say that necessity is the mother of invention. And I think that was born in agriculture. And the Khula interaction becomes so exciting. It provides a platform to gain access to a market that is complex, it's fragmented.
The input marketplace of Khula is another great example of how technology can be leveraged to the most optimal decision making by farmers.
The Khula Inputs app is going to provide all farmers, small-scale, emerging and commercial farmers, with ease of access to the marketplace, ease of access to products, as well as access to vital information.
These days in agriculture, technology plays a very important role, providing farmers with direct access to credible information. And especially on a platform like the Khula Inputs app, farmers have access to direct information, what varieties to plant, when to plant, the best growing support and tips for that particular variety. And Zakata is so excited to partner with Khula in this regard because it provides farmers with access and linkages to credible suppliers in the agri-value chain.
Now, where to from here? Why the Khula Inputs app? You get better pricing, and the reason for that is that you buy directly from over 100 suppliers, both local and international. These are suppliers that you already trust. And if you're buying in bulk, don't worry about the list price. Just create a quotation and easily get discounts directly from these leading suppliers. And if you're not sure what to buy and how to apply it, you can easily search, filter, and view the various products by bugs, targets, categories, and product registrations. And for each product, we put a label with the exact details on how to use it safely. And you can seamlessly check out on the system. Now, how do these products actually get to you? We are plugged into a network of over 132 depots across the country with over 190 crop advisors waiting to assist you. Now, this is all so that you can focus on the agriculture and we will take care of the logistics. And if you don't believe me or our partners, and even if you believe me, now is the time to actually get on your phone and download the Khula Inputs app from the Huawei, Apple, and Android app stores. This is your opportunity to get on the digital bullet train. Do not miss out.
Can I take this out? Yeah, no, I don't like being restricted. All right, my name is Karidas. I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders of a tech startup called Khula. Where I come from a township called Ekangala. When we greet in Ekangala, when I say Etahola, you say Woi Woi. Etahola. Eta hola. Way. Eta hola. All right, cool. So I'm going to share a little bit of our journey, what we are about, what we do. Just put my slides up there. I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders of Khula, which is an agri-tech startup based in South Africa for the moment. But I think I'm going to share our journey really from a technology perspective in terms of why technology is so important and critical for the growth of our industry and where we are going with our industry. And I think when you think about agri-tech, the question we should be asking ourselves is, what does our industry look like in 10 years' time? Does our industry look the same or does it look different? And what are the things that we need to be doing now to make sure that we prime ourselves for where our industry is going to be in 10 years' time? And a good example is always the music industry, right? I see some people here are a lot more gray than others, right? Back in the day, the vinyl was the most innovative thing. It was like the coolest thing. It was the most high technology at the time. And I'm sure there was a company out there that made vinyls that thought, they would never go out of business. After the vinyl, you had, I don't even know what that is, but then after that, the cassette came, and the cassette was so cool, you could record stuff on the radio, click play, you could spin it around. And then cassette companies went out of business when the CD came, and the CD was much more cool. Remember that era where you go, and then the CD was the coolest thing. Then the iPod came. You could take more, it was smaller. You put it in your pocket, could not be disrupted, right? Then after the iPod, the USB came, right? Now we started using USBs, much smaller, less bulkier, can take infinite amounts of knowledge. But now, stuff is in the cloud. We're not even using USB anymore, And that's the power of technology. And I think even agriculture, for me, feels like we're still at cassette stage or possibly even at vinyl stage, right? And we need to be priming ourselves for where technology is going to go. And good examples of this is always our good friends at Uber, right? Or Lyft and all of those sort of startups. Who would have thought that the taxi cab industry would be interesting? It was a boring industry. It was sucky. Nobody liked taxi cabs. But Uber kind of came in and they put a person who's not in the taxi cab industry in a position where they said, you could buy a Toyota Corolla on credit and pay maybe 6K a month with insurance or 7K a month, but then put it on Uber and it makes you 30K a month, right? All of a sudden, it became an exciting industry, right? Because they actually put a business case forward and transformed this entire industry, right? Another good example is what Airbnb did, right? You've got this massive hotel industry that couldn't be disrupted, but Airbnb kind of came and gave you a business case for your back room or that house that you're not using, right? And using these examples, I'm trying to sort of explain what we are trying to do at Khula. And our industry needs to move to a place where it gets more and more direct, where it gets more and more transparent, where it gets more and more inclusive, but ultimately where farmers have more and more options, right? And in our view at Khula, we really think that the industry is still either at vinyl stage or at cassette stage. It means there's a lot of exciting change that's going to come, that's going to help open up the industry. But at the heart of it, we need to build a business case that makes sense for us to be able to scale the industry forward, right? And another question, is in 10 years' time, how will farmers, will farmers be buying inputs the same way? When you want to think in terms of where agri-tech is going, you kind of need to be asking yourself, what does the industry look like in 10 years' time? Does it look the same? Are you going to be waking up in the morning, doing the same thing that you're doing today, or is it going to be a different way of doing things, right? And this is the question that we asked ourselves as Khula. So in 10 years' time, will farmers be buying their inputs the same way that they're buying them now or not, right? Which is what pushed us to start what we call the Khula Inputs app. This was actually the second platform that we started. We actually have an ecosystem of platforms, but I'll take you through a little bit of a journey of why we started this platform. The challenge we saw was, the experience of a lot of emerging farmers, right? Where a lot of emerging or small-scale farmers, I don't know what word is politically correct to use these days. You go to one side, they say you can't use emerging, you can't use small-scale. But a large part of the experience that a lot of farmers have had limited access, to certified inputs, and quite often they pay higher prices because they buy from the guy who bought from the guy who bought from the guy, and then came and sold it in their local town, right? Or they've also got minimal access to technical support because the big suppliers don't want to send a seasoned technical expert to go service one emerging farmer who's only going to buy one liter bottle, right? The business case hasn't made sense for them. And also, this segment of the market actually gets hit harder by stock shortages. And we've seen this a lot with crop advisors, where they'll say there's no Roundup in the country, right? The country's out of Roundup, but actually it's still Roundup. They're just not going to sell it to you. They're going to keep it for the much bigger farmer. So it's almost like this segment of the market gets hit by stock shortages much quicker, even before they actually happen, right? Because some of the CAs would actually start hoarding the stock before the shortage actually even happens, right? And then from a supplier perspective, the problem for the suppliers is that they want to assist and they want to get into this market, but the cost to serve is too high, right? And as Khula, this is where we've come up with our inputs app. This is the one product that's live. It's available on all the app store. Pretty much we allow farmers to get access to inputs. We'll tell you how much stock is available for that product. We'll give you the live price of that product, minimum order quantities. You can compare quotations between suppliers. We've got about 180 suppliers at the moment. Anyone from Bayer, Syngenta, all the big names you can imagine. You can compare quotations between those suppliers and kind of make an informed decision from a price perspective. And you're buying directly. So you're not buying from the guy who bought from the guy who bought from the guy who is then coming to sell it to you, right? And we also are able to deliver directly to where you are nationwide. Move quick. And since we've launched this platform, it's been about a year now. We've got over 5,000 products. We're operating nationwide. We've got 291 technical experts. Because it was too expensive for the supplier to send the guy to your farm, if you're going to buy one liter or one bag, now you can engage with these technical experts online. So you can actually take a picture of whatever issue you have, and you can talk to a technical experts either from ACI, Sakata, or Kaino, or any of the suppliers, depending on the issue that you're having, and they can actually be able to assist you, right? Another issue we came across was, once we're operating, here we are, we have this marketplace, we're reaching these farmers, but a lot of our much smaller farmers were still traveling to town to access our products. So they were still taking a taxi to go pick up, a product that they ordered on the Khula app. And we felt that this was not a good enough e-commerce experience. So we took a bold step and we started setting up these Khula kiosks nationwide. Because we can see where the high concentration of the farmers is, we actually set up this as a distribution point, meaning that a farmer in Hammanskraal, a farmer in Greytown, a farmer in, where else do we have? A farmer in East London or any local town can literally order on their phone, and then tomorrow or the next day, they can actually walk and go pick up their product at this particular point. Not only that, we're starting to do technical support at these stops, where the farmers know that on a Monday, it's Crop Monday, or it's Animal Health Tuesdays. Then we make sure that there's an expert there that's ready to address the queries or the questions that the farmers may have, right? This is our footprint so far. It's actually outdated. We've got about 11,500 farmers on the platform. We launched the platform last year, August, I think. And I think of this 11,000 that we had, we got about 7,000 within a 2-month period. But we had to stop marketing because we got way more animal health farmers than we anticipated, and we didn't have animal health products. So the farmers were complaining, and we had to add those products. So we've spread out quite well nationwide. Again, the other question to ask is, in 10 years' time, will farmers be selling their produce in the same way? That's another question that we asked ourselves at Khula, right? And this brings the second segment. I'm going to pace through quickly, which is our Khula Fresh Produce Trader platform that's run by Alistair Smith. Alistair Smith is a former head of procurement for the Spark Group. And here, essentially, we looked at all the challenges that farmers face when they're selling their products. And I don't want to get in trouble, but we all know them, all the things that happen at the physical markets. Farmers are selling consignment, they pay on consignment, they're paying high fees, and there's minimal transparency in the entire chain. And essentially, we've built a platform that's independent, where farmers can negotiate trade terms. So on this platform, you don't need to have a contact at said supplier. You don't need to have a contact at Food Lovers or whatever. We go get the buyers, get them on the platform. You get on the platform and you just list your products. And then the buyers bid for your products. We don't negotiate on your behalf. You negotiate your own price. You talk to the buyer. If you don't have a truck, we plugged into Imperial's 4,500 cold fleet. If you don't have a truck, you can access a truck there. If you need, certification or stuff to be checked, we've got GoCheck as well. And we've added various third-party services to make the trade process easier. But unfortunately, on this platform, we don't allow every single farmer. Just let me know if I'm outside time. Cool. Yeah, we don't allow every single farmer to access the platform because of food safety requirements, right? I think we all know what happened with listeriosis, so we have to follow our buyers' guidelines from a food safety perspective. But the tools you need to be able to access this platform are actually on our input marketplace. And once you are approved and you get onto this platform, the buyers are there, the third-party suppliers are there, and we launched this publicly last month in Cape Town at a big fresh produce event. Go. Again, the other question, in 10 years' time, will farmers be accessing finance in the same way? So the last piece of Khula was a consequential platform that we actually didn't plan for, right? The issue we picked up because of we saw a mismatch sort of in the industry, and particularly came from a lot of sort of funding institutions and developmental institutions coming to us and saying, hey, we're looking for farmers to support. And the issue you kind of face there is that, this is run by Ayanda, by the way, just move. You pretty much have a mismatch where you've got a lot of farmers that are looking for support, that are looking for funding, that are looking for financing. On the other side, you've got a lot of funders that are looking for farmers, but either the farmers don't fit their mandate or they're not ready for large-scale support. It's almost like a Tinder situation, where the funder's looking for the right match, and then the farmer's also looking for the right match. And based on the data that we have on the platform, we've been able to sort of make these linkages. We've been testing this out with the likes of the IDC, the Land Bank, SAB Foundation, AFCRI, and various other parties, where we assist them to basically be matched with the right kind of farmer, and then we move the farmer from where they are until a point where they can actually gain access to our fresh produce marketplace and then trade over the long term. I saw someone yawning. Taola? Wait. I saw you. But yeah, pretty much that's the Khula story. And I think the role we see ourselves playing in the industry is that we are not farmers. So you never hear anybody at Khula saying that they're a farmer. We are a tech player. And our job is to basically move the industry forward, make it easier to access products, make it easier to access markets, and basically build a business case for agriculture. Almost put a superpower in your phone that a farmer sitting in Kwakwa, in Musina, or wherever, they can just pull out their phone, they can talk to an expert, they can get the product that they need, and once they're ready, they can also sell it, allowing the farmer to focus on the farming. That's what we do at Khula. So thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, Wandilo will be downstairs. We've got a stand there. You can also check out our website. But in the interim, you can actually download our Inputs app, have a look at it, the products and everything like that. Thank you so much. Yeta hola.